Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Sonny Martinez. I'm a real estate agent in the North Texas area. Today I'm in Mansfield, Texas, in this beautiful neighborhood. Lots of older custom built homes here. This is my friend Vicki's house. Beautiful home, 2-story, well maintained, lots of trees. The front yard looks great. Anyway, she called me last week about a foundation issue that she's probably having and needed someone to come out. Now, I did this on TikTok as well, but I wanted to go ahead and add this to my YouTube channel. So you're going to see some of the same things that I pointed out. But in addition, I'm going to interview Vicki and ask her thoughts on things. Now, it recently rained last night, and it's going to rain some more today, so the ground is saturated pretty much. Now, I asked her, I said, okay, well, show me what you're thinking here. And this is what she showed me. Here's the expansion joint of the house, and as you can see, I'll try to get up close. It starts expanding for sure when we get to the top here. And right there I can see the insulating lining to the home as it expands, and that's pretty substantial. And as I go upward, look how far the caulk is pulled away from the trim. That's pretty substantial. Now, what's really unique about this is I'm not seeing anything as far as, stress in the bricks. I do see a couple of cosmetic, but I only found 2 of them. She did point out that there's a crack right here in the foundation. Yeah, that needs to be looked at. That looks like that was like one of those tie-ins into the foundation right there too. Again, I'm not a foundation expert, but I know enough to go, yeah, that probably that's probably where the crack started because of the expansion joint. Now, the expansion joints usually look like this, okay, and then they will dry out, so that is code for you need to caulk again. Now, she was a big fanatic about watering her lawn and doing everything right, but again, we're in Texas and everything dries out so fast. But these things do happen. Now, is it the end of the world? No, it's not the end of the world, because I connected her with my friend Jay Woodson with DW Foundations here in Dallas, and I have the number. I hope I said that right, but anyway, I connected her with him, and he's coming out next week, and he's going to do a really good job and a really good price. He's one of the guys, my go-to guys on this, and one of the ones I trust the most as far as foundation work goes. But here we go. This is the front part of the house, the west side of the house, and she's also having piers installed on the back side, and I'll look at that here in just a second. Hey, as I said before, this is my friend Vicki. Vicki, thank you for having me out to your house right here too. She's the one with the foundation issue. Bless your heart, I know, and people have gone through that too. So tell me, what made you call me, or what was the initial catalyst to go, I need to call somebody about this?
I went around the side of the house. I've been watching the foundation because of all the heat and everything.
Right, and I saw that out there too. Yeah,
I have soaker hoses, and I was watching the expansion joint, and it just started going like this from the bottom, just opening up, and I could see inside, and I could see that, like, the insulation.
Right.
And at the top, it was moving away from the window on the second story, and I could actually see like a void where like a brick had fallen, like inside of the house or something.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's so...
That's so fascinating you said, the void, because that's what we talk about too, And so you just mentioned that you use soaker hoses as well, right? That's the advice that that everyone tells everybody about, foundation issues, is use soaker hoses. For the foundation, and I know you're very diligent about that.
Yes.
And you have a water sprinkler system.
Yes.
You have a pool, things like that too. But, and it still happened.
It still happened. It still happened.
It still happened. I find it fascinating. It's not a matter of it's not a matter of if your foundation is going to have a problem. It's a matter of when, especially when we're in Texas, and you're not from Texas.
No.
Right. Yeah. In Texas, I go see construction sites all the time, and they put dirt down, and they put cement down, and no wonder we have the shifting that we do.
Yeah.
Right. And then now, were there initial things that started in the house that you thought, hey, I might be having something happening here?
I had a crack in the kitchen floor and a
Yeah.
grout line.
Right.
That was where it first started, and that happened like a year ago, but it wasn't a big crack. It was just like running along a grout line, so I thought it was probably just maybe the grout cracking.
Or drying out.
Or drying out or
right,
something.
Right.
And then I noticed, little cracks in the ceiling, in the corners maybe, but you think when a house gets to be 20 years old, you're going to have some settling cracks. So I wasn't real concerned.
Right.
But then and you hear noises like popping and different things. But then once I noticed the expansion joint doing that, then I started looking. Oh, and my front door stopped closing. The deadbolt wouldn't go into the hole.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's another indicator.
It got real sticky.
Right, right. And what happens is some people, do the adjustments along the way. And you mentioned drying out too. And drying out happens a lot with new construction. We tell people, well, it's a matter of filling it in and painting again too. But what I'm hearing is like, okay, it's starting to escalate.
Yeah, escalate.
Right? Mm-hmm. Because grout does dry after a while, because sometimes if we lay it down, we don't put enough water into it, and it will do that too.
Well, and you mop the floor all the time, so you're constantly putting water and drying it.
And it was in a walkway where everyone walks all the time too. So I saw that as well too. Wow. And again, when before you called me and you saw that expansion joint out there, I know how I would feel.
I was panicked. And there's no other word, just panicked, because I didn't know. It's like, where do you start? Who do you call? What do you do? Yeah. And I thought of you because I've known you for a long time and I trust you. And so I wanted to call somebody who could give me advice that, instead of just looking in a magazine or a phone book. I guess they don't even have phone books anymore. But looking online, looking at Google and something and finding the first person that comes up and calling them. You don't know if you can trust them or.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that too. And, for me, like, if I saw that expansion joint, I'd be panicked. I'd go, oh my gosh, my house is going to get saturated with rains and stuff like that.
That really scared me, yes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, those are those emotions things. And I think, first of all, I'm so glad you called me, because I know myself too that, and a lot of people go through this, is that, you have those emotions going through, and all of a sudden you're just looking at, online and just hiring just anybody you want to,
yeah,
right?
Because you just want somebody to do it now, and you want it done, and
yeah,
it's scary. It's really and as a person who lives by myself, and I'm a senior woman, then it's like, it's scary. Yeah. You don't know if somebody's going to take advantage of you, or you want somebody you can trust.
Right, and you know what? That's such a great line, dialogue you just made to me, because I've heard that so many times. And my new business, the way I'm going to run my business now is, I'm not going to put my stamp on anybody unless they are solid and 100%. And that's why I recommend, Jay Woodson with DW Foundations. He came in and gave you a great quote.
Yes.
And compared to some of the other jobs that I've seen and stuff like that, those are great numbers. So it does have to come out of pocket. We get that, because a lot of times insurance won't cover it unless something caused it.
Right.
And in this case, it's a basic. All right, here's the stress of a foundation repair there too. Yeah. But again, I can't tell you how many times that I talk to someone like yourself and they go, yeah, we had this done. And I go, how much did you pay for that? And it's very unnerving how people are overcharging these days. It really is. And they use that concept of like, well, you're paying for my expertise and, you're buying your time back. I go, yeah, but if we were doing that, why aren't we paying our teachers more?
Exactly.
Right?
Yes.
So anyway, but again, I thank you so much for calling me. And, that goes for everyone out there too. It's not about doing a real estate transaction. It's about doing a service for people. Again, I'm, and you may have a friend that's a real estate agent that does the same thing too, but I will not put my stamp on anyone unless I know they're going to do the job right. And if it's part of my transaction, my new business model is, if it's not done right, somebody's going to pay for it. And if they're not going to pay for it, I'm going to pay for it, because I don't want anyone to get screwed, while I'm working with them too. So again, Vikki, thank you very much for calling me. I'm glad I could be a service of that,
Thank you so much.
Because it makes me feel good that that's going to get taken care of too.
Me too.
Now, as you get done with a foundation repair, there will be a part 2, because I want to show you Jay's work, but it's going to be really fascinating, because that when you see that expansion joint and that separation from the trim, it's going to go back to completion, to the point where you're like, I don't think I need a caulk, but he is sending someone out to caulk, which is great. There will be some cosmetic things around the house that you will have to do. If some boards split apart and things like that, there'll have to be someone to come in and just repair those. It is an easy repair in some cases too, but again, you might want to get a professional or someone you can trust. or if you're a handy person, you can do it yourself, that's the way to go as well. If you ever need any help or assistance with anything at all when it comes to your home needs, just give me a call at 817-692-8318. Oh, 817-692-8318 or sonnymartinezrealtor@gmail.com. I don't go back and edit these things. Yes, we look this good. So anyway, thank you very much for watching my video today, and there will be a part 2 to this.